Sparing no expense in the graphics department. Welcome back to our Wretched. Did you see little Israel? Little teeny. And you got Jordan, Islamic Egypt. Hey, that's working out really well there in Egypt, isn't it, with those peaceful Muslim Brotherhood? You got Libya and Turkey, all Islamic, surrounding this little teeny tiny place called Israel. And yet, isn't it strange how much attention that little tiny country gets from the United Nations?
No matter how you feel about the United Nations, it's the one place on planet Earth where nations get together and attempt to speak with one voice. That's why their resolutions can make a big difference. So when people all around the world see that approximately 40% of the UN Human Rights Council resolutions were against just one country, most of us would assume that country must be a really bad place. Perhaps ruled by, say, a genocidal dictator who kills his own people, or maybe a tyrant continually threatening to annihilate another country. But actually, the country that has been condemned more times than every repressive country on Earth combined is a democracy. The only viable democracy in the Middle East, Israel. And with these repeated resolutions against Israel, it's easy to see why so many in the international community perceive Israel as a major cause of world problems.
Isn't that something? You would think there was all kinds of, what did I call it, chicanery? Bad things going on in Israel, but there's not lots of terrorism that's happening because of them. It's terrorism happening to them, and yet the United Nations gets together and scolds them constantly.
But are all these resolutions really justified? Because whether or not you agree with how Israel is handling its many challenges, when you do a basic comparison, like the number of deaths Israel is responsible for with the number of condemnations they've received, and then make that same comparison with other countries, it paints a surprising picture of a possible double standard. What could explain the enormous imbalance? Quick history lesson. In 1975, Cuba needed to gather support in order to take down the biggest democratic superpower dominating the global schoolyard, the United States. Seeing how the UN was mostly controlled by the democratic superpowers, Cuba, along with other communist nations, finally found a way to even the playing field, because it just so happened that, at the same time, a number of Muslim countries were looking for new, creative ways to gang up on Israel. So the communists realized that by joining the Muslims' anti-Israel coalition, they could create an unstoppable voting bloc inside the UN, because with every resolution they passed against Israel, they simultaneously discredited Israel's ally, the United States.
You'd almost think if this weren't the Glenn Beck program, there's a little conspiracy going on here.